I'm Jen, and welcome to my channel. I am a woman in long-term recovery, and I'm also a CARC, a SERPA, a rape crisis counselor, and a Narcan trainer. I have a special guest with me today, so we're not going to do all the social media and all that. Everything you need to know, you will find down below, and I'm also going to link all of Kyle's stuff. So this is my friend Kyle. He is joining me today in my home. He also has a channel, so make sure you guys go all check that out. I've been on his channel a couple of times, but this is the first time he is coming on mine. So what's up, Kyle?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
It's awesome to drive down. We're both in New York, so it's not a bad drive, 3 hours, but get right down here. Yeah, I am Kyle. My channel's Sober Dogs. Everything I do is somehow affiliated with the name Sober Dogs. I'm a person in long-term recovery as well. I am a CARC. Just got certified last week. So
that's like amazing. I'm super proud of you, and
thank you.
I know how important and how just amazing it is to hit certain milestones to be able to do, and that is one of them. And it's not an easy feat. You know, it takes a lot of, oh my God, trainings out the wazoo, certifications, tests, this, that. So I'm very proud of you. I know you're actually, so I have a friend who lives in the area and he's a CARC. Other than that, you're the only other male CARC that I know.
Really? Wow.
You should be very proud of yourself. I mean that.
Thank you. It seems like in Rochester there's a lot, which is great, more and more and more. And what was awesome about the training is because of COVID, it's on Zoom. But in my class, there was somebody from Dubai, Canada.
No way.
This dude was coming in from somewhere in Ecuador, somewhere down there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like, great. We need more of this.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually, because I did not know it was an international certification. That means we could travel.
I wouldn't have to get too deep into it, but as far as where the certification is good, that question I don't know, because some people asked during the training. I know U.S. I'm pretty sure it's wide, but
yeah, I think according to wherever you go, you just have to test their test. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like sit for their test, so then you can see if your knowledge is up to par
for whatever country or whatever. Yeah. I started my channel about 3.5 years ago, and basically for me, why I started it was I would see all my friends or their parents out at the store, and at this point I had just gotten released from prison. It was like I didn't want to lie to them, but at the same time it was so awkward. I'd run into Bobby's mom and she's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, good, how's Bobby?" And then she'd be like, "Oh, he just got married. He's got 2 kids, working here, great, blah, blah, blah. So how are you, Kyle?" And I didn't want to be like, "I'm a month released, I'm freaking out, craving heroin, living with my parents." But I didn't want to lie to them. And so, I was like, you know what?
I mean, but that, like what you just said, that's so raw and honest and so real.
True.
Like, it really is. Like, oh, I'm fucking great. But I'm about to snap and I'm about to relapse and I don't know what to do. And my parole officer's due at my house in 15 minutes, so I gotta go.
Yep, exactly. Oh, and I got this $20 prepaid card because I can't have cash on me right now because it's a trigger. So I'm being babysat, at my own, by my own account, asking my parents to help me or this or that. And it's such an awkward feeling.
It is. It really is. I'm sorry. Lena's like shedding,
no,
oh my God,
great.
all over you.
I have dog and cat hair all over. It's fine. And so I decided to just share it, get it out there. And it started with
freeing.
Yeah, big time. It started with a website. I wasn't too keen on video at that point. But so I just started writing kind of articles about anything to do with addiction, recovery. And I noticed too that there was a little bit of a gap of so to me it was always like addiction. They showed documentaries of somebody in active addiction. And then they would maybe show rehab or right before it, like the intervention part. And then they'd show recovery. But there was this huge gap of, okay, you just showed me these people in a dope house getting high. What do they do after? What's going on? What are these things in the corner? What are those tools they're using? And that was something some people I've gotten some messages like you talk about the dirt stuff a lot. I understand, but to me that's essential. I can't tell you how many emails I've gotten from parents. I had no idea this those hollowed out pen caps were sneakers or smokers. There was 100 of them on my son's bed for a year. I never noticed. Now I could talk to him about it, blah, blah, blah. And that branched out into YouTube and social media, and it's something that's just, it's been phenomenal. I've gotten to connect with so many awesome people like Jen, programs like Recovery, Soars, these places in Rochester, YouTube videos with people in other states, and just freaking awesome. It's incredible.
You know, so for me, when I started my channel, I didn't look at it. I looked at it at first, it was just going to be an outlet for me. I didn't understand really what the magnitude of it was going to become. And I just figured, well, it's just a way for me, in a sense, to visually journal. And yeah, you know, yeah. And then over time, I didn't realize where my live life experiences were educational for people who love addicts or people who are struggling. And you develop this community, as we all have. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And doing this type of visual journaling has literally changed my outlook on so many things in life. Because like I say it all the time, like my community, these people are freaking amazing. They really are. And they have restored my faith in humanity, because I didn't think that anybody cared. You know, I thought that there was like 5 of us left in the world who cared about addicts and addiction and the things that we go through, and the generations before and after it that suffer this pain and mental anguish because of addiction. And I've learned that I was so wrong, and I have finally found my people because of it. And it's such a powerful thing for me, you know. And I've connected and made friendships with some people that, like, you know, you always hear like find your tribe. Well, I have. And this platform has done that for me.
That's
and it's
incredible.
Just, it's just so powerful, you know? Like we would have never met.
Yeah, never.
And we're only 3 hours away from each other.
Yeah, it's not the other side of the world.
Right, we're in the same damn state.
Yep. It's incredible. I know your community is incredible. You know,
really
so-and-so is struggling. This is what they need, and it's like dozens of supplies show up.
It's just amazing.
Awesome.
It's amazing. They're super supportive, and they just hold it down. Like when I say, hey, I got a guy going into rehab and he has on scrubs from the hospital and he has no jeans, I'll throw some jeans on my wish list. Boom, they show up. Like, it's just
awesome.
amazing. It's amazing. It really is.
I think that there is those people out there. There's a ton of people out there who want to get involved and help. They just don't necessarily know how.
Right.
Because they're not like us who've kind of immersed ourselves in it.
Correct.
And like, you know, I was able to, I did a video last week or week ago with a guy who's got a channel in Georgia. And somebody commented, I was watching and I'm from Rochester, you know, I'd love to connect with you, blah, blah, blah. So I was able to connect with her, and she showed up when I was volunteering at Recovery.
Oh my God, really?
With a $200 donation for them. And it's like, she was dying to get involved. You know, addiction and alcoholism were in her family through various different avenues, but she just didn't know that, you know, 5 miles down the street is this building that does nothing but recovery. Well, now she knows, and it's like...
And that's the thing. I feel like, unfortunately, if you don't know, you don't know. And addiction and substance use disorder has always been treated as like this dirty little secret. So everything is like very hush hush and whatnot. Now that we're able to do these more public, amazing things, we really have to turn like the light to that. And just you having a website like that where people are able to go and read material and interact privately to educate themselves and understand better. That's amazing. Like, we need more articles written like that where addiction and substance use disorder and recovery are written from a former addict's point of view. So this way, you know, I always say, like, I can read a book all day long on how to fly a helicopter, right? And have the basics down, but I don't have any live life experience.
No.
So
until you do
reading about it at least gives you that understanding, but it doesn't give you like that fundamental understanding because you've never been through it. So when you read an article that's written from an addict's point of view, it gives you a different dimension to that issue or that problem, because it just fills in the gaps. So I will absolutely link all his TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, website, the whole 9 yards, all of it down below. So you guys can go and check it out. And please, if you find an article on there that you love, please feel free to share it, because this is how we stop the stigma. This is how we get people to stop judging us and start seeing us as human beings and individuals. We educate and we help people understand better. So I just think that that's such an amazing idea that you have. And I wish I was able to do what you do in that type of platform. I really do. I sincerely mean that. Yeah.
Thank you. It's, and here's a cool story too, how it goes full circle. It's harder with the articles on the website too, because you might publish an article, you have no idea how it's going to do for 4, 5, 6 months until the Google gods decide to rank it, if they do. But I would, after I write my articles, I'd make a pin and put them on Pinterest to link to it. Oh. And yeah, so I do a lot of that. So I get a call May of this year, give or take, from a parole officer in Wisconsin who's on the opioid task force.
Oh, wow.
She goes, I saw a pin on Pinterest of your article, clicked on it, read the article. Can I pick your brain a little bit? I'm like, of course.
That's amazing.
It was so cool. And then I had an hour-long conversation with her, and she's like, now I could deal with the people, I forgot she calls them her clients.
Oh my God.
A better name than her parolees.
Dude, that's an amazing parole officer. That's proactive, wanting to learn, trying to stop the barrier and the stigma. Whew.
That's not the end of it. So she contacts me again and goes, I'm pushing to get you involved in our training for the next round of parole officers. So I'm like, sure, great. So I did a Zoom conference with her and then her boss and her boss's boss or whatever. So now in October, when the next batch of 40 Wisconsin parole officers are coming through, I get to do an hour-and-a-half talk with them. And they get to ask, little things like they were fascinated too. And I'd say something like, a needle is a huge trigger. Mm-hmm. Like for an XIV user to see a needle, especially even if it's a stock photo or a video of it, I don't got to get into it. You guys know, is a huge trigger. None of them knew that. And it's a simple, small thing, but they just didn't realize the extent of it. And we get to kind of go over that. And I was, telling them too, like, when I come into your office, if I'm using, I have one thing on my mind. That is, how do I get out to get high again? Because I'm going to go into withdrawal. So if your answer to me is anything like 3 to 5 days, my brain is not even going to comprehend that. And they got that a little bit, but I don't think they got the extent of it. But just having that conversation with them opens them up,
The simple fact that they were even open, and the simple fact that she contacted you and then was like, I would like you to help us train new parole officers. Dude, that's fucking killer.
That's so cool, yeah.
You better put that shit on your resume. That's fucking great.
And I'm still on New York State parole, so it's this ironic thing.
What did your PO say?
The one I told her, it was awesome, and of course a week later I get switched. I've had 13 now, different ones in 5 years. So
oh my God.
It's it's all over the place, but
you seem like you've had decent ones, though.
Yeah, I've had some good ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, it's completely different. You guys have a bigger area, so you have a variety of officers. Here we have one and one alone, and it is a train wreck.
That's insane. I've literally had 13 different ones, and you guys have one in your area.
It's crazy.
How that
is. And we are a huge area. So Delaware County is the size of Rhode Island when you spread it out.
I don't know how the state lets that happen.
I don't either. And in her defense, I can't even imagine how tired she must be trying to fit everybody in, remember everybody's ish, get everything done. This one who needs that one who needs that. Like,
it's exhausting. Yeah.
It's got to be. As a human being, it has to be, Yeah. And at the end of the day, I always say that I want people to treat addicts and in active addiction, in recovery, on parole, off parole. I want you to treat us like human beings. Yep. And the same thing goes, though. We have to be mindful. The same thing goes for parole officers, probation officers, cops. Yeah. They're human beings at the end of the day, and they are doing their job. And I know that's not popular opinion. But as you all know, my parole officer and I were always, because she just was she was hard on me. But I always treated her properly. I was always respectful. I abided by her laws and her rules. And I continued to do the next right thing even when she acted like a beast. Because I put myself in that position. And I continued to do the next right thing. But, you know, I just... It blows my mind that she was able to find you through Pinterest and to contact you. And like, you probably changed the minds of half those people in there and gave them a different perspective that they never would have had, and stopped so much future stigma. You know, you don't realize when you're in the thick of it and you're doing something like that, you don't realize how big of a pool that affects. And you probably really changed some people, and that's amazing, and you should be really proud of yourself for that.
Thank you so much.
You know, I mean, you don't, when you set out to do things like this, those are not things that you think about. You know, you never think like, oh, I mean, I hope train parole officers, the fuck?
Oh,
like,
never. Yeah, you have no idea. Like, my greatest hope at the beginning was like, of course, like Jen said too, I don't like using the word selfish because it's really not, but there's internal motives of like, this is going to be good for me to get it out in like you said, visual journaling. But my goal was... It's
not really selfish. It's selfish in a sense, but it's a healthy selfish.
Yeah. You know, but the main goal is like, if somebody can read an article or see a video that's like, damn, like, I could relate. I could get on that. That's it. Like, was the goal. And I know everyone always says, like, if you can help just one person, sure. But like, if you can help 2 or 3 or 4, great. But like, if 5 people over a year said, hey, that gave me a new perspective, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
And like, to have an entire state parole get involved, and that also tells me a ton about them of like, awesome. Like, get proactive, like you said.
Yeah.
Get involved, because the other thing I talk about a ton in a lot of videos and on the website is solitary, because how addiction is treated, and I know Jen always talks about this, is just insane in a lot of places. You know, I won't get too deep into it, but long story short, I did 12 months and 25 days in solitary in New York State prison. Every single one of those days was all for nonviolent drug use. Failing a drug test, failing another drug test, getting caught with sleeping pills, smoking tobacco in solitary, and then attempted suicide in solitary.
So you have a problem, but let's throw you in a fucking box by yourself, not give you any help, not give you any way to express yourself or to make yourself better. And then every time you fuck up, because we've literally taken everything away from you, let's make it even harder, and let's tell you again how much we don't like you and how much we disagree with you. And let's see how you come out in a year from now.
Boom. Exactly.
There's
not a human I know on this planet that comes out better.
No. Like, you're already struggling mentally, right?
Yeah.
As every single inmate is, because I do not know an single solitary inmate whose mental health is up to par, amazing, spectacular. We're all depressed. We're all emotionally and mentally scarred, have some sort of trauma, all of us.
Anger, addiction, frustration.
And we're already fucking... whatever, because we're where we are. We miss our loved ones, our freedom, our food, our clothes, our normalcy, whatever that looks like. And then you make a mistake, because obviously you're in the worst part of your life right now. But let's throw you in a fucking box, and let's really not give you any type of re-entry, any type of education, any type of way to better yourself, bring you up, bring you out, any type of mental health, any type of therapy, anything. And let's lock you alone with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And then get mad when you fuck up more.
That's insanity. Yep, exactly. I specifically remember the second time I got out. So I just did 10 months. I did 5 months, got out for a month, got in trouble again, did another 5 months, and I got out, and I was sitting on my bed I was at Mohawk, and I'm sitting there, and I'm suicidal. I'm depressed. I'm pretty much shot, because I was just in solitary for 10 months. And these guys are in the bathroom getting high. This half of my brain is, go get high. It's the only thing that's going to make you not try to hang yourself tonight. This half is like, dude, getting high is what sent you there. But I could not do it. I didn't know any other way to cope with that insanity. And it's like, that is that vicious circle of misery, that is just, to me, I will give New York State a lot of credit. We are one of the first in the country that just passed the Halt Solitary Act. Anything over 15 days is pretty much, unless it's an extreme circumstance, an inmate's, stabbing guards or other inmates, they're not going for more than 15 days. That went into effect, New York State Senate. It is being challenged in court by the guards union, but as of right now, it's still up. And
you want to know why? Because it makes their life easier. It makes their fucking life easier to go to a fucking slit and shove a tray in and pull it out and keep it moving and shower somebody 3 times a week. Makes their life easier.
Yep. So.
Sorry. I just...
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember, especially as a female, during that time of the month, begging for my shower not to be skipped that day. Begging, like, please, please, please. Like, I'm menstruating. Please, I need to take my shower today.
Yep.
And they were like, sit down and shut up.
The one of 2 you're going to give me this week.
Correct.
So it's not like I get one yesterday and tomorrow, too. No.
Right. It's not like I'm being a prima donna, like, and I'm like, oh, or, like, bro, can I wash my ass? Please. It's been 3 days.
Everyone involved benefits.
Yeah.
And you guys don't have to smell it.
Yes.
Simple. But, not to go super deep down that hole, but that's another thing that I advocate for a lot with the getting rid of solitary.
Absolutely.
And whatever can be done. I don't have the exact answer. I'm not sitting there saying I do, but I know when you throw people in solitary for nonviolent infractions, for minor infractions, for all these little stupid things, it makes them worse, period.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
So,
yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that you and I first bonded over was the fact of solitary.
yep.
So I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Like I said, I will link all of Kyle's stuff down below. Please go subscribe to his channel and follow him. He's got TikTok where he does amazing TikToks, Instagram, all that. The website, he's got awesome shirts, the whole 9 yards. And we will definitely be having Kyle back for sure. We try and do this every couple of months. And if you guys, if you want to hear his solitary story or whatever story you guys really want to hear from him, drop a comment down below and let us know. And that's what we will show you guys in the next one. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful rest of your week. And remember, we recover loudly, so those behind us do not suffer in silence. Bye.
See ya.